years.
And we live, people. Now, pause this real quick. I am your humble host, Mr. Mass. You are watching Mr. Mass TV. And what we're going to do today is we're going to tune into part 2 of the trial, YSL. Like I said, my point of view, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not nobody anything like that, but I do understand law. And from what I'm seeing, nothing is sticking. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm keeping. Okay. For those who tuning in, be sure to hit the like, comment, subscribe. Both your opinions. Today they are interviewing the detectives, cops, officers, and all that. And we're just gonna tune into it. All right, without further ado, we're gonna get into it. But before I do that, I gotta do my intro. Let's get it. And like that, we're gonna begin.
We do.
Like I said before, they're interviewing officers, the cops,
I'll give you
who was there on the scene, all that.
You may answer that question.
Yes, we do.
During your time with the Atlanta Police Department, were you certified as a law enforcement officer by the state of Georgia?
I was.
How long did you retain your certification?
Throughout my career. 22 years.
Did you ever lose your certification as a law enforcement officer?
No.
During your time with the Atlanta Police Department, did you work any cases involving the residents of Zone 3 in Atlanta?
Yes.
Are you able to give a number to how many cases you worked?
We just having technical difficulties, but we back. Let me just say something. If I find out anybody fucking with my shit, just know. Whoever you work for, whoever you are, I don't give a fuck what you say. Your powers that be, y'all can't fuck with me. I ain't your regular degular, and I don't move like everybody else on this planet. I move like me, and I'm glad I'm me, and I never changed that. But let me tell you something. You come fucking with my platform, you come fucking with my channel, anything like that, just know it's all repercussions on what you send this way because I send back. But just know when I say I send back heavy, motherfucker. So I hope you can hold. Anyway, we're going to continue. Like I said before, we tuning in to the YSL Rico case. I am your humble host, Mr. Mask. Without further ado, we're gonna get into it. Like I said, it was interviewing officers, giving their testimony of what happened. From my point of view, I don't know because it's nothing that they saying is really sticking. It's like they don't have anything. It's like, what are you on trial for? The witnesses aren't saying and sticking to what that was said on the paperwork, which means officers could be lying. There's a lot of shit going on. Evidence could be tampered with. System ain't what you think it's kept up to be. And if you understood law and know law, you would get it too. But most people don't. It ain't no game.
knife coming at the officer, just as a few examples. That would be, those instances I just explained would be called an aggravated assault. So that has to be investigated. To answer that question, it depends on the detective in homicide. It depends on the complexity of the precipitating crime that occurred. And the example I gave was aggravated assault. There were detectives that were assigned to the precinct. Zone 1 had their own detectives, and they would cover robberies, and they would cover burglaries and thefts and things of that nature, and as well as aggravated assaults. The homicide detective could make the decision, depending on the actual complexity of that particular case, whether they want to handle the precipitating crime investigation or work it in conjunction with the precinct detective. And we were talking Zone 3, so as an example, Zone 3 detective could have worked the robbery or an ag assault, while homicide worked just the police shooting. Or homicide detective can make the decision, I'm going to investigate the entire incident from start to finish.
Would the officer who was involved in the shooting be allowed to continue to investigate any alleged crime that led to?
Sometimes, the only thing more difficult than running a business is finding the right words.
The officer that's involved in the shooting, we have to, as a homicide, have to make a determination
Okay,
whether
we
that
back. There
officer
seemed to be
acted
an issue with
negligently.
the communication. It was the
If that
sound.
officer
We don't
did,
know what he was
as an
saying, but we
example,
tuning in now.
I can give you a plain example. There's a threat. Officer said, I was fear of my life and I shot. We determined that the threat ended way before the officer shot. Then that officer could be charged with aggravated assault. We take the officer out of that mix because we want them, it would be difficult for that officer to remain objective in investigating their own crime, the precipitating crime that led to them to
Let
make
me
the decision
let me
to
point out
fire
some
their
shit in
weapon.
this case, man. Because look,
Therefore, they are
I'm
completely
following
removed from
it.
that whole
I
scenario.
wasn't following it before, but I'm following it now.
So as OIS, the officer involved shooting team, would you have to make determinations sometimes whether an officer acted criminally or with criminal intent?
That is exactly what we do. Our investigation is a criminal investigation. Simultaneously, Internal Affairs is doing an administrative investigation. So while we are trying to determine if the officer acted criminally, Internal Affairs is investigating whether the officer violated policy. The officer could have violated policy, as an example, could have had the wrong ammunition in their weapon. Doesn't change what happened, but they're not following policy, or they may not have had their right equipment on their duty belt.
See, this is what I call bullshit. It's always in a courtroom where someone that works for the system or someone that has their duty or hold a higher power is going to make like the situation is not a big deal when the situation is a big deal. If you got one dirty cop, that means you got a whole bunch of them motherfuckers, and they need to be exposed for the people to show and see. Now, during this case, I can count at least 5 or 6 times different witnesses have said and gave testimonies about paperwork and stuff that was written in this paperwork that they did not say. Now, I'm no expert or nothing, but that right there seems fishy to me. Just saying.
Day. Internal Affairs would look at that and make those determinations. We solely looked at, was the officer's actions lawful? And if they were, well, regardless of what they were, we turn our findings over to the district attorney's office.
Did you investigate an incident that occurred on September 11, 2013, and that involved investigator Malik Roberson L?
I was involved in parts of that investigation, yes.
Were you the lead investigator?
I was not.
Who was the lead investigator?
Detective David Quinn.
How did you become involved?
As a member of the team, the officer involved shooting team, if we're all at work at the same time, we'll typically all go to the scene together as a team. Within that mini squad within homicide, there's a rotation. So homicide has their own rotation where the next homicide that occurs, whoever's on call within that rotation gets that. Within the officer involved shooting team, whoever within that team is next up, David Quinn happened to be up that day. He then asked me to handle the actual shooting location once we learned there were multiple locations involved in this case.
What was the location that you were tasked with investigating?
It was 2475 Old Hateville Road, Summerdale Commons Apartments.
Besides yourself, what other OIS team members responded? Or officer-involved shooting team members responded to the shooting incident itself?
I recall David Quinn and myself initially responding just to the shooting location at the apartment complex at first.
Okay. Now, were there any factors involved in that September 11th, 2013 incident that led to the officer-involved shooting team handling both the shooting that occurred and the incident that was alleged to have precipitated the shooting, which was an aggravated assault?
So there was a conversation once we understood the complexity of what was happening, because there were multiple crime scenes. And I say that to mean there was a crime scene where the shooting occurred. There was a crime scene where a vehicle struck a gate and caused damage. There were there was another area where a vehicle crashed into a laundromat. So based on that, and I recall a discussion with Detective Quinn, he decided that he was going to handle the entire investigation.
Now, did you all get a call over the radio when you were notified about the officer-involved shooting with respect to investigator Marie Roberson L?
Yes.
What is a 63?
Signal 63 is when an officer, we speak in signals and codes. So a signal 63 is when an officer needs immediate help. And typically it's in an emergency situation where they just give their location and yell signal 63, and that indicates any officers hearing this to head to that location for assistance.
And in September 11th of 2013, did the Atlanta Police Department have only one channel for radio traffic?
No.
Would you describe the various channels for the jury?
There was and still is to this day 6 precincts, 6 zones, zone 1 through 6. Each zone has its own radio frequency. Detective radio has had its own frequency. Special operations had
That's
their own
how it
frequencies.
is in hoods, though.
And then there's sub-frequencies
We
within
know
those
that.
channels I just described for surveillance. As an example, if I'm on detective radio, there are other detectives trying to talk to a dispatcher, and I wanted to talk to, since we're talking Detective Quinn, I call him on the radio, and I want to talk about something that I don't need to tie up the radio with. I would say switch to surveillance. So detective radio would have a surveillance channel. We would switch it there and have it's not private, anyone can switch over and listen, but we're not tying up traffic. Every zone had that. Every special operations radio frequency has that. And then there were several other channels that they call TAC channels, or talk around channels, where I could call a detective or an officer from another zone and ask them to switch over to TAC 1 or TAC 2, so I could have a semi-private conversation and not tie up their radio frequency or my own.
Would it have been uncommon in an incident such as the one you responded
I
to
would
on
love to hear the
September 11th,
conversations they have on that.
2013, to divert radio traffic to a TAC channel?
No, it was very common for that to happen.
And were there any circumstances involved in that incident to which you responded that would have led to the traffic being switched to a TAC channel?
Yes, I do believe that there was some direction for all units on the scene to switch to a TAC channel. I don't recall which TAC channel that was.
When you did respond to the incident on September 11, 2013, would you tell the jury what you did?
When I arrived on scene, first of all, from the radio traffic, I understood what I was looking for. I knew there was a shooting, and just knowing when a gun is fired, there's shell casings that come out. So upon arrival, my expectations were met that the crime scene was restricted by yellow police tape. There were several uniformed officers restricting access. I arrived at Summerdale Commons Apartments. I could clearly see the gate. One of the gates, I believe, was the exit gate, looked mangled, like it had just been rammed by something. And then I entered the crime scene through the yellow tape and met with, I believe Detective Quinn may have been there already, or we arrived simultaneously in separate cars. There was an officer who I do not recall the name, in uniform, who was maintaining that scene and then started to direct me in some evidence that they found. Shell casings, there were just debris on the ground. And at that point, I started to just evaluate what would be next as far as collecting evidence.
Did you call for a crime scene technician?
I did.
Now, what did crime scene technicians do that you weren't able as an investigator to do?
Crime scene technicians are, in the Atlanta Police Department, are civilian employees that are trained in evidence collection, identification, processing, fingerprinting, supergluing things for fingerprints, photographing. Our crime scene unit did just that. That's what they're tasked with doing. Every homicide scene, there is a crime scene tech or several techs on scene. And what they do is, at our direction, start to process the crime scene as we start to identify evidence. Could be blood, could be a weapon, it could be bullet casings or bullets or damage. And at our direction, they take photographs, measurements, and then eventually actually collect that evidence physically and take it with them to be processed later. And it could be either processed by themselves, they had their own crime lab, APD did at the time, or send it to the GBI, which is the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, or sometimes even to the FBI.
Who was the crime scene technician that you called to assist you on September 11th of 2013?
Her last name is Otey, O-T-E-Y.
And did Otey carry out duties only, did she decide on her own what to photograph or what not to, or was that done under your direction?
It is done under my direction. However, Otey was a very experienced crime scene technician. We worked together for many, many years. At that point, I had been in homicide 13 years. So it's not uncommon. And in this particular instance, I did not direct her to take every single photograph. I trusted, and to this day still do, that she knew what photographs I needed. But there was direction. There were some directions as I started to find casings and debris where I probably said, I need you to really focus on this or get a close-up of the casing. But there were many other photographs of the area and the crime scene that she was taking on her own.
So,
Yes, Your Honor.
ladies and gentlemen, how about a break? For me, okay? No, purists, all right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a 10-minute break, take comfort, and we'll come back and continue with our examination, okay? All rise for our jury, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our jury has left us. Retired Detective Leslie, you can take 10 minutes, okay?
Thank you.
And everybody else, I'll see you back in 10 minutes.
That judge happy as hell for the paychecks he finna get. Anywho, while that's on pause right now, we're gonna come back to that. Yeah, I feel like they ain't got shit. Ain't shit sticking. That's what it looks like to me. They keep trying, but it's not working. We're gonna see if my statistic right too. When we get to the nitty gritty over here, I don't know about you. You feel me? Now, I'm gonna stop the screen. Alrighty. Right. We back. Now, I don't know if my statistics are right, but like I said, I don't think they have anything that's really sticking. So I don't want to just toot my own horn. You know, y'all probably been following this more than I have. Though I haven't, I've been following a little bit. We just gonna tune in. Okay. Should I open the portal? No, I'm gonna leave it closed. YSL. In 2022, APD was investigating a double shooting on the northwest side of the city, and police learned that Fagan had contacted a suspect in the shooting, warning him about an active warrant for his arrest. APD confirmed. More info, Fagan provided information she had learned during a preliminary hearing related to the shooting and advised the suspect to dispose of his phone as police were going to arrest him. She was not representing him at the time, police confirmed. Ooh, who is this Fergan? Fergan is charged with participation in criminal street gang activity and criminal solicitation to commit the offense of tampering with evidence. Ooh, So APD released information at the incident that she's charged in. These are the charges. At approximately 4:22 p.m., officers responded to a report of two people with gunshot wounds arriving at Gardaí Hospital by private vehicle. Upon arrival, officers located two victims who had sustainable. Wait, what? Sorry about that. Two victims who had sustained gunshot wounds. One victim was alert, suspicious, and breathing. A second victim was in critical but stable conditions. Uh, Preliminary investigation indicates the incident originally occurred near Baker Street Northwest at William Street Northwest, where the victims were engaged in an exchange of gunfire with the suspects. Investigators responded to the scene to determine the circumstances around the incident. The investigation continues. Please keep in mind above information. Yeah, without that. Damn, that was serious. Interesting. Very, very interesting. We're gonna continue. Today, start back at court, of course.
I just am. This is ridiculous. Your witness list is grown.
This is what's been going on in the courtroom.
Since then. And I don't know why. You better have a dang good explanation on the 16th. Because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it. Okay. But right now, I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone.
Well, we would like to
exclude a lot
They giving
more
bullshit.
because this is ridiculous.
They ain't got
There's
nothing.
no plausible explanation I've gotten and that would suffice. That we just kind of keep. Well, you keep dripping and driving out evidence.
They
we'll
got
be prepared
nothing.
on the
Ain't shit
16th,
sticking.
We'll have all the explanations for the court.
I'm telling you, it better be a good explanation. And if it's not,
You heard them.
I'm going to exclude it. I'm just going to.
They pissing off the judge. He brought why the judge bring the emotional support dog with him in the court? He that stressed out.
Here behind me is this bell that starts jingling. All right.
They got
and
these
if you hear
bears
a
stressed
jingling
out like a
sound like a
motherfucker.
bell, please don't think that I'm doing anything creepy up here. All right.
A whole lot of bullshit. This man got his dog at the what judge you ever seen? Since when in the history of judges have you seen the judge bring a emotional support animal to work? That judge so stressed out. It's a good thing he ain't got here.
I have a service dog behind me. His name is Jack. I think some of you may have seen him already. He lives the best life ever. He's pampered. He's really and he is a Labrador Retriever. He's about almost 2.5, 3 years old at this point in time. So, but if you hear that bell, that's him moving around. All right. He doesn't bark. He rarely gets interested in what's going on, so he might come up here and look, but that's about it. All right? Don't bring him any food either, okay? All right? He is spoiled rotten. So please don't try and throw any food back here behind me or anything like that. He doesn't need anything else, okay? But if you hear that bell, hear that sound, that's what's going on.
I done damn seen it all. The judge brought his dog to the courtroom. Man. Young Thug, he like, man, I'm ready to get out.
These are all the Young Thug lyrics that prosecutors will use against him in the YSL Rico case.
Oh,
After hours of
damn.
deliberation, Judge Glanville rejected Thug's request to ban all lyrics from the trial and ruled that the 17 sets of lyrics can be used against him as evidence.
That ain't gonna hold on. What made you think they was gonna remove that? Did you not see the Boosie trial when Boosie said they play all his songs to get him caught up? Like,
prosecutors argued that these lyrics prove that YSL is a violent gang that committed murders, carjackings, drug dealings, and other crimes for over a decade. Bringing up lyrics in court like Thug's 2016 song Slime Shit that allegedly referenced an incident where a YSL member shot at a police officer.
Hey, this that slime shit. Hey, YSL shit. 12 shit. The jail shit.
Here are some of the many lyrics that will be
no, they
used
did
against
rap. She was feeling it too. Do you hear her in the courtroom? Y'all can't tell me that. She was feeling that shit when she was saying it.
These are all the Young Thug lyrics that prosecutors will use against him in the YSL Rico.
I said that his money, now he no longer mention me. I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. Told him to shoot 100 rounds. Ready for war like I'm Russia. Getting all type of cash, I'm a general troop. Ooh, I done fought the crew. Ooh.
Oh, I ain't trying to get copyrighted, but as y'all can see, that's some of them that they gonna present in the courtroom. They finally got a jury too. Okay, let's hear from the attorney. YSL attorneys revealed he gave Young Thug his first felony in 2014 when he was a prosecutor. I gave him some street cred.
So again, I think the reason was they wanted to put convicted felons. They wanted to put convicted murderers next to a celebrity that has done, I think he had a first offender back in 2013 or 2014 for possession of alprazolam and a firearm. I know that because I prosecuted him. I gave Mr. Thug his first felony, so I gave him some street cred. But he completed it in terms of his probation.
He said I gave him some street cred.
Went away legally. He does not have a conviction because that case went away like it never happened because he took first offender and completed first offender, which is what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Speaking, you keep mentioning prosecutors. So you was a prosecutor before?
I was. I started my career as a prosecutor. I will tell you this. This is a funny story because when I graduated from law school, when I was young, I had a little too much fun. So, I've been arrested a few times myself.
This Young Thug lawyer?
I thought it'd be funny. I'm like, so again, I think the reason was they wanted to put convicted to be funny. I'm like, there is no way a DA is ever going to give me a job. So I just applied to be ironic. And Mr. Howard, who a lot of people have very negative opinions about him, but Mr. Howard sat in that interview room with me and told me face to face, like when I told him, hey, by the way, I need you to know this about my past. I've had X, Y, and Z. And
y'all drop in the comments what y'all think about this whole case. Am I tweaking, or do they feel like they ain't got shit that's really sticking?
I just waiting to see if you
Fannie Willis, you fucked up some shit. We gonna talk about it because I might look you up too. You got a big you're a big part of this case too.
And
no lie.
I took a lot of pride in what I did, and I got in trouble.
Now you under investigation. You got your whole you got your whole office under investigation for the higher ups and all. Atlanta, y'all better tie up y'all fucking boots, because right now as we speak, them people probably coming in, investigating, checking paperwork, looking for any scrape of dirtness they can get. Once you open them floodgates, them motherfuckers start swimming in, and y'all know I ain't lying. Fanny, you better be clean. That's all I'm gonna say. Or you're gonna be washed like Listerine.
In cases that I had no approval to drop, but in my opinion, we couldn't prove him.
Fanny, And then you got then you got niggas in the courtroom like this, G. Cordonius Dorsey, aka YSL Polo, has been dropped from the YSL Rico case. You know why he was dropped? Because he played it smart. Y'all might say this is the world's dumbest nigga. Me, I look at it as the world's smartest. Cause this nigga do what you do to get yourself out of that jam, out of that situation. You do what you do, and that's play fucking dumb. Because when you get they need voice in the courtroom, and if you can't speak, or you're not even in tune to speak for yourself, you can't be presented in the courtroom. That doesn't work like that. And this nigga, the Academy Award goes to the new trying out for the new radio. French fry, I love French fry. I cannot. Look at Polo. He think he at the club. Look. One more time for the one time. Hit him with the Polo. I cannot. Look, swang and swang and swang. I'm gonna hit motherfuckers with the Polo. He made a new dance. Look, that's what you do when you get to the courtroom. Do the Polo. Get you out of any situation. Are you having troubles in the courtroom? Your case just isn't going away. You feel like you can be going down. Well, here, you need you dose of Polo. They can't catch you if you play dumb. Radio Raheem, radio. Let me stop, man. That shit funny as hell. That nigga was doing a Diddy bop.
He may be doing this for
Oh, they
purposes
found
of
him guilty. Hold on. YSL co-defendant YSL Polo found guilty of murder, sentenced to life without parole. No wonder that nigga was playing. Look at him. So you thought you was gonna play yourself? Hold up. How you get out of it? Well, let me just read this. Cornelius Dorsey, also known as YSL Polo, a member of Young Thug's YSL group, have been found guilty of murder. Dorsey, who was already serving a life sentence for another murder, a robbery. Damn. So you already had a life already you was serving. So you got a life on top of the life. Boy, your ass finna get the chair. But they say, is it 1 or 2 or 3? Has now been sentenced to life without parole in a separate case. The conviction stems from the 2020 shooting of Xavier Turner with the intent of being caught on camera. Oh, you a goofy, bro. Straight goofy. That's why you was clowning like that in the courtroom. And you thought you was gonna get out of it. You really got out of that situation just to fall back into another. Oh, you goes down for the worst. I'm talking about this nigga, the smart. Bro. You goes down for the world's
drawing
dumbest
attention to
criminal.
himself. But
Look at this shit.
of course, sir, as you are well aware, I'm duty bound to consider whatever it is you want to tell me. But your client's nodded in affirmance. He just has some extra movements that the court is noticing, and he's done that the entirety of this particular proceeding. So you haven't said anything up to this point in time.
You ain't
so
gonna be able to get away
I'm
with
gonna
that shit
assume
behind bars, bro.
that's something that you and he are working through.
And then on Tuesday, what time are we
He
gonna-
looked like, to be honest, one of the niggas that be dancing. He was like one of the niggas I saw dancing in Young Thug's video too.
9
Money
o'clock.
money
Yeah, let's see. Hold on, wait 1 second. Tuesday the 6th.
I mean, Zenny, first of the sun in there.
He may be doing this.
That nigga, he hitting the. I just live up numbers. The big A do with that. Hit him with it. Pull up curve.
Of course, sir, as you are well aware, I'm
You're
duty
not
bound
with that.
to
Do with that.
consider whatever it is you want to tell me. But Your client's nodded in affirmance. He just has some extra
Somebody
movements
come get
that
this
the
man.
court is noticing, and he's done that the entirety of this particular proceeding.
He
So
on that other.
you haven't said anything up to this point in time, so
What are
I'm going to
y'all?
assume that that's something that you and he are working through.
Polo, you tried it. Polo, you tried it, but you did not succeed, Polo. You did not succeed. That's we ain't gonna talk about that. Oh, interesting. YSL Rico case judge allows search of defense of attorney laptops after defendant suspected of using it to carry out affair. Damn. Is that who was smashing Fanny? What the fuck, Doug? This is what you know. What this is what makes me wonder, bro. Why is y'all niggas out here sacrificing goats and shit? Y'all really committing rituals out here, huh? And y'all believe in that shit? Man, look. Young Thug's YSL member arrested during alleged goat sacrifice ritual. Young Thug's attorney wants info removed from Rico's case. Why do you want the information removed? Hold on, what? Justin, attorney for Young Thug's filed a motion Thursday claiming that the co-defendant Shannon Stillwell, who is facing numerous charges including murder, was arrested by police while in the midst of a religious ceremony which involves supposed sacrifice of goats. What the fuck? Not sure if Shannon Stillwell practices voodoo, but during my time in Miami, a reporter I learned a lot about it, and one ceremony worshippers were all white sacrifices goats in efforts to bring forth Iowa. Hold on, let me mute that real quick. That's crazy. And yeah, we just about back. The case is back up. So we're gonna get back to it. I'm just gonna remove this real quick. Damn. Young Thug, what was y'all on, bro? Y'all do voodoo? Y'all niggas was on that? The place y'all go doing that, man. Look. Good luck. Blood magic is a whole nother realm. I don't want no parts in. Okay. Like I said before, they're back. We got action. It seems like we ain't got no sound yet. There we go. Hit the like, those tuning in and subscribe to the channel. This is Mr. Master TV.
Time you walk out the door, and jump straight back on. He came back in, cut off. He said, "Gotta get this spot somewhere." So he ain't want to interfere with what we had going. And when he all leave,
You say it was Mr. Matthews specifically? That was a problem. He's got a blocking device. Is that it? Okay.
Up at the courtroom. Y'all see him?
So when he walked out, he came on. He walked right back in.
Yeah, they probably need to add a booster or something.
They'll have to, a router or something.
Yeah, or a booster. They probably just need to add one in here. All right. Are jurors ready, sir?
Yes, sir. Rick from
Yes, ma'am. You certainly may. Why? All right, use some of our
Gang in this bit. Gang in this bit. Hey. They got the whole squad. He look like he depressed.
Let's see.
Squad them in there. Look, he's smiling. Look at that smirk. Uncle Tom looking. I don't know what happened to the sound, but oh yeah, we good. All right, we good. Who was these two
All right,
whispering? They
ladies
look
and
like they
gentlemen, please be
well
seated.
acquainted.
All right, thank you, Sergeant Ingram.
Ain't no pillow
All right,
talking
you
in the
may
courtroom
continue.
now. You
Thank
don't
you,
want
Your
another
Honor.
Fannie Willis situation
Retired
going
investigator
on around this.
Velasquez. Before we left for the break, we were talking about crime scene technician Ote. I'm going to approach you with what I have marked as State's Exhibit 41 Charlie through 53 Charlie, as well as State's Exhibit 84 Charlie, which are all photographs previously served to the defense in discovery, Your Honor. And I'll ask if you recognize State's Exhibit 41 Charlie through 53 Charlie and State's Exhibit 84 Charlie.
I do.
How do you recognize them?
These are photographs of the actual shooting scene at Summerdale Commons apartments, parking lot, vehicles, things of that nature.
And are they accurate reflections of the areas that are captured within those exhibits?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state tender State's Exhibit 41 Charlie through 53 Charlie and 84 Charlie as evidence.
Any objection? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Of course, let me take these from you and I'll give them to counsel.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, how's it going? Sean Cano here from Think Media. If you want to get an unfair advantage in a very competitive YouTube landscape, I highly recommend checking out the new AI-driven vidIQ Daily Ideas tool. Every single day, this video gives you new video thought starters customized to your channel. And what's cool is you actually get a low, medium, and high prediction of how many views the video is going to get, which ultimately allows you to invest your best energy in the videos that are going to grow your channel the most. This means you can save hours researching your next hit video. See
By the manager of the apartment complex.
Did you have interactions with that owner?
We don't do no,
Yes.
sure.
And was that Dodge Durango in any way affected by the incident that you came to investigate?
Yes.
All right. How was it affected?
The rear windows, both rear windows, passenger compartment were broken from bullets striking the vehicle.
Going to State's Exhibit 42, Charlie. Will you
40
tell the jury what we're looking at?
Yes, ma'am. 42 is another close-up of this Durango. As you can see, broken glass on the ground, the left rear window broken out. And also you can see the damage to the gate of the apartment complex.
43, Charlie.
43, Charlie, is just the rear of the vehicle showing the tag number.
44, Charlie.
44, Charlie, is just another close-up of the tag.
45, Charlie.
45 is the front of the vehicle.
And we'll keep cycling through. 46.
46 is going to be the right side vehicle of the vehicle. And as you can see, the right rear window has been broken out as well.
47.
47 is the right rear window glass that's broken out on the ground next to the vehicle.
48.
48 is a close-up of the right rear vehicle's window broken.
Now, there was no one inside the vehicle at the time that it was shattered, correct, to your knowledge?
There was not.
All right. And 49, Charlie.
49 is just another view of the left rear window broken out of the vehicle.
50, Charlie.
50, Charlie, is a close-up view of the left rear window being broken out.
51, Charlie.
51, Charlie, is just the glass on the ground in front of the left rear window.
52, Charlie.
52, Charlie, is another close-up of the same glass.
53, Charlie.
53, Charlie, is a view of the inside of the vehicle from the left rear with the door open, looking out of the right rear window of the vehicle.
And 84, Charlie.
84, Charlie, is the left rear door of the vehicle open and glass from the window on the floorboard of the car.
Thank you. I'm going to now show you State's Exhibit 54, Charlie, through State's Exhibit 77, Charlie, which are photographs that I would like for you to take a look at. You may have a seat.
Okay.
Looking at State's Exhibit 54, Charlie, through State's Exhibit, I believe that I gave you, through State's Exhibit 79, Charlie. Do you recognize State's Exhibit 54, Charlie, through State's Exhibit 79, Charlie?
I do.
How do you recognize it?
They are also photographs of evidence collected on the scene, bullet casings, another vehicle, debris that's on the ground, and various photographs of either the same items in close-up form or farther away.
Are these fair and accurate depictions of the areas of the scene you investigated on September the 11th, 2013?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state tender State's Exhibit 54, Charlie, through State's Exhibit 79, Charlie. I will give them to defense court to review.
Let me just take a moment to review them, Judge. And for the record, we're happy to review anything else.
And we've also provided them as discovered. And Your Honor, we've also provided a PDF of all of these exhibits and the numbers to defense counsel prior to this examination.
All right. Thank you. Was prior to look through any of the 1,000 photographs prior to?
And Your Honor, while defense is reviewing those, I will also provide the next set, 80 through
Can
83.
we just, all right, go ahead and show them as well, okay?
3 Charlie and 85 Charlie through 101 Charlie that I will be showing to you.
As regards, excuse me, as regards, states exhibits 59, Charlie through 79, Charlie, we have no objection.
It's 54, I think it's 54, Charlie.
Yeah. That's it, right?
Just, yeah, of course, yes, sir, absolutely. All right. All right, they're admitted maybe, showing juries.
Damn, they fell asleep over here. This trial boring.
It is State's Exhibit 80 Charlie through 83 Charlie.
I was doing better just scamming on
State's Exhibit
Instagram.
85 Charlie through Ace Exhibit 101 Charlie that they are reviewing now.
I said scamming, I meant skimming. Don't get it twisted now. What non-evidence do they have today? No, I'm just kidding. We shall see. And I'm still shocked that judge brought his emotional support animal to the courtroom. I'm baffled right now. I'm shocked. Like, y'all stressing that judge out that bad? That's the prosecutor. Let me...
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Any objections, gentlemen, from 80 States 85, C, Charlie through 101, Charlie?
No, we're not going to have any objection to those or any of the subsequent ones.
All right, so states 80 Charlie through 83 Charlie and 85 Charlie through 101 Charlie are admitted and may be published as you see fit.
Thank you, Your Honor. And since there are no objections, we'll just keep rolling right along. So, retired investigator Velasquez, would you please resume your position with the pointer? And we're going to move now to State's Exhibit 54, Charlie. Would you please tell the jury what we're looking at?
54 Charlie is a view of the parking lot in front of building 100. And evidence marker number 4, I need to refer to my report.
Okay.
So I can identify what number 4 was.
Sloppy, unput together.
I have also.
Shit ain't adding up. It's not sticking. I said what I said.
117 Charlie Alpha through 117 Charlie Delta. I will ask you if this is a crime scene diagram that you.
I'll refer to that.
That you created.
It is.
Is that an accurate reflection of the crime scene diagram that you created to depict this crime scene?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state tender State's Exhibit 117, 117 Charlie, 117 Charlie Alpha, 117 Charlie Beta, 117 Charlie Charlie, and 117 Charlie Delta as evidence. The defense looked at it just now.
Let me see if I get this correct. 117 Charlie.
Your Honor, 117 Charlie was the first one that
That's not what you said.
it is not. My apologies.
Okay, all right. So 117 Charlie, 117 Charlie Alpha. What was the next one again?
117 Charlie Beta.
Charlie Baker.
Baker?
Or it's Bravo, actually.
Bravo.
So Charlie Bravo. And then what's the next one?
117 Charlie Charlie. And 117 Charlie Delta.
And those are codes that they are saying.
Any objection, Mr. Adams?
No, sir.
All right. States 117 Charlie, 117 Charlie Alpha, 117 Charlie Bravo, 117 Charlie Charlie, and 117 Charlie Delta are admitted and may be published as you see fit.
Thank you, Your Honor. You may go ahead, retired investigator Velasquez, explaining what is in State's Exhibit 54 Charlie.
54, specifically evidence marker number 4 is a 40 caliber casing, bullet casing.
And what are we looking at? Is that a just another view in 55 Charlie of State's Exhibit 54 Charlie?
55 Charlie. Well, this photograph depicts another photograph of evidence marker number 4 in front of building 400 in the parking lots. This is another photograph of the same thing.
Okay. As we look at State's Exhibit 56 Charlie, what is it?
56 Charlie is evidence marker number 3, which is, you probably cannot see from this photograph, but there is a 40 caliber bullet casing next to that evidence marker.
And when crime scene technicians are photographing evidence, do they take a single shot of the evidence generally, or do they take multiple shots?
Multiple shots.
What is the purpose of that?
It's to put it into context of the distance between the general area where the evidence is located. As you can see, it's very difficult to see the casing, then an intermediate photo and then a close-up photo so you can actually see what that marker represents.
And so going to 57, Charlie, what are we looking at?
57, Charlie, is just another photograph of evidence marker number 3, and I myself at this angle can't even see the shell casing yet.
So let's look at 58, Charlie, and see if you are able to see.
Just
So 58, Charlie, is actually
not one
the
shell case,
casing.
I see.
And if I could draw your attention to right there, you can see a circular photograph of a bullet casing sitting straight up, kind of like what a stovepipe would look like.
So showing you Stacy Exhibit 59, Charlie. What are we looking at?
59, Charlie.
Talking about you can see it standing up. Where?
Photograph of evidence marker number 4, which is a .40 caliber shell casing, right there next to the yellow marker.
And going to 61, Charlie.
61, Charlie, is a closer view of evidence marker number 4.
Okay, that's the one you see. We see that
The bullet
motherfucker.
casing right there.
What are we looking at in Stacy Exhibit 62, Charlie?
62, Charlie, is going to be another photograph of another .40 caliber casing, evidence marker number 5. You can barely make it out right next to the evidence marker right there.
Looking at 64, Charlie, tell us what that is in evidence marker number 5.
64, Charlie, is a close-up view of evidence marker 5, .40 caliber bullet casing.
66, Charlie, what are we looking at?
66, Charlie, is evidence marker number 8, which is a piece of foam that came from Detective Robinson L., Detective Booker Higgins, and Detective Porter's vehicle after it was struck by another vehicle. This piece of foam right here came from the front bumper of their vehicle.
And are we able to see in Stacy Exhibit 66 other evidence placards, specifically evidence placard 7, 6, 4, and 3? And I can give you the photograph itself.
Okay, I couldn't see from that angle.
And on the other evidence placard.
If I can stand here. Yes. So evidence, this photograph also contains evidence placard number 6, and number 7, 6 being another piece of foam from the bumper of the detective's vehicle, and evidence marker number 7 also being a piece of foam from the front bumper of the detective's vehicle.
And what are we looking at in Stacy Exhibit 67?
67 is a close-up of evidence marker number 6, a piece of foam from the detective's vehicle.
And looking at 69, Charlie.
Another close-up, evidence marker number 7 is another piece of foam next to evidence marker number 7 from the detective's vehicle.
Going to Stacy Exhibit 71, Charlie. Give me just one moment to scroll through. Yeah. What are we looking at in Stacy Exhibit 71, Charlie?
71, Charlie, is another photograph of number 8, evidence marker 8, a piece of foam from the detective's front bumpers of the vehicle.
And going to 72, Charlie, would you tell the jury what we're looking at?
72, Charlie, is a close-up of evidence marker number 9. I had it listed as foam from bumper of detective vehicle, but now I see the wires. I think I miscalculated that or misidentified that in my report. That's obviously a device, but it came from the front bumper of the detective's vehicle.
Looking at Stacy Exhibit 73, Charlie, are we able to see where that evidence marker 9 is located?
Evidence marker 9 is located by the front entrance of the apartment complex.
Moving on to Stacy Exhibit 75, Charlie, as we scroll through. What are we looking at in Stacy Exhibit 75, Charlie?
75, Charlie, is evidence marker number 10, which is a 9mm bullet casing, different caliber gun.
And if we can go to 77, Charlie, just one moment.
77, Charlie, is a close-up of evidence marker 10 and the actual bullet casing, 9mm, right there.
And what are we looking at in 78, Charlie?
78, Charlie, is the vehicle that's parked near the front entrance of the complex where the 9mm casing is next to that you just saw.
And in 79, Charlie, are we looking at that same vehicle?
Yes. This is the same vehicle.
Going to State's Exhibit 83 Charlie. I'm sorry, 85 Charlie. What are we looking at?
85 Charlie, obviously there's a vehicle in the photograph, but more importantly, building 300.
Honestly, no one wants to think about HIV, but there are things that everyone can do to help prevent it.
Responded to.
Yes.
What was that significance?
Building 300 had bullet holes in an apartment window.
Showing you State's Exhibit 89 Charlie. What is State's Exhibit 89 Charlie?
89 Charlie depicts the front door of apartment 306 that's located inside of building 300.
And what is the significance of apartment 306?
306 is the apartment that a bullet went through the resident's window.
Showing you State's Exhibit 90 Charlie. What are we looking at?
90 Charlie is the inside of apartment 306 pointing towards the window of where the bullet came through.
And State's Exhibit 91 Charlie. What are we looking at?
91 Charlie is a
Oh, y'all niggas
of,
cooked.
again, the inside of the apartment where the bullet came through, more of an intermediate photo.
You're fried, you're
And
fried, you're
going to State's
fried.
Exhibit 93 Charlie. What are
You
we looking
tried,
at?
you tried, you tried.
93 Charlie is the same apartment 306, the actual bullet hole or the hole
Yep.
that
It's
the
a
bullet
big ass hole
created
too.
when it went through the window.
Going to State's Exhibit 95 Charlie. What are we looking at?
95 Charlie is apartment 306, excuse me, apartment 306, the dining room area, and next to this painting on the wall, there's a little area here, which is a bullet hole in the drywall.
And if we go to State's 96 Charlie, are we able to see that bullet hole a little bit more clearly?
96 Charlie depicts another, just a closer view of that bullet hole right there.
And looking at 97 Charlie.
Of 97 Charlie is another close-up of the actual bullet hole.
And what is depicted in State's Exhibit 98 Charlie?
So 98 Charlie is, again, the window, this time with an evidence placard taped to the window, indicate number one.
And going to State's Exhibit 100 Charlie, what are we looking at?
100 Charlie is the same bullet hole in that dining room wall with evidence placard number 2.
Now, we're going to put up for the jury State's Exhibit 117 Charlie. Just one moment. And I'd like for you to describe for the jury what it is that you have in your hand. And it will be published in a short moment as 117 Charlie.
Are you asking me to testify to what I have in my hand first?
You may, yes, testify to what you have in your hand first. That would be a good idea. Thank you for saying that.
Understand. So what I'm holding here is my crime scene report. It is a report that I created that indicates the evidence that I observed that day at the crime scene. Also, you're going to see a crime scene sketch that I actually drew that you actually, more of a topical view, not to scale, that gives an idea of where the buildings are in relation to the parking lot. And you'll see numbers. Each number represents those placards that you saw earlier. And then you'll see a legend with what those numbers represent. As an example, 1 may say showcase, and 2 may say home, 3 may say building. I can't recall exactly what, but these are, and this is literally my report, a piece of my report.
And as we are looking at 117 Charlie, as we blow it up, would you just describe for the jury what is depicted in 117 Charlie, using the rest of your report if you need to?
Sure. So starting out with this is actually the crime scene sketch. Starting out with the building numbers, obviously building 300, building 100, apartment 306. And then starting with number 1, and you can see the line goes to the arrow into building 300, is a hole in the wall of building 300. I'm sorry, a hole in the window.
I'm sorry, we're having a little bit of a, there we go. Please continue.
One represents a hole in the window of building 300, apartment 306. Number two represents a hole in the wall. One is the window, two is the hole in the wall, apartment 306. Evidence marker number three on this sketch in this grassy area indicates 40 caliber shell casing. Number four, evidence marker on a sketch, 40 caliber shell casing. Number five, 40 caliber shell casing. Number six represents foam from the detective's vehicle. Number seven represents foam from the detective's vehicle. Number eight represents foam from the detective's vehicle. Number nine, right here, represents foam from the detective's vehicle. And number 10, which is right here, represents the 9mm shell casing. And just to go back here to give you an idea, this is Old Hapeville Road, and this is the front entrance to Somerville Commons Apartments.
Thank you. You may take your seat.
Thank you.
Why do you draw a crime scene diagram if you already have photographs of the evidence that is collected at your direction?
Part of the reason we create a sketch and diagram and do measurements is to get an overall view of the evidence as it sits at a scene. The second part of that reason is there are times where we may need to recreate a crime scene. We may need to go back out to a location and actually place evidence back where it was located. That's why we measure these reference points, so we could clearly actually go out to this scene right today, if it would still remain in the same situation it was in 2013, and place a casing, place a piece of foam, if we needed to physically see this again. I've only had to do that a few times in my career, but that's one reason. The more general reason is to demonstrate, as I just did now, the overall view of a crime scene from the topical view.
I'm going to show you now, and also let me ask you, were the items that are depicted in the photographs you just explained to the jury, were they collected?
They were.
And I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 151, Charlie, 152, Charlie, 153, Charlie, 154, Charlie, and 155, Charlie. And I'll ask you to take a look at them in turn. And here are some scissors so you may open them up. And let me know if you recognize what is contained in the exhibits.
May I stand?
Yes, but don't publish what's inside.
Okay. I just need to open another bag. Are you asking me to describe or just,
No, just
verify this? I do recognize.
They've been shown to the defense counsel already?
The defense did have an opportunity, but before we tender them, I will let you see what is being tendered.
I do recognize 154C.
I'm gonna grab this out. And are you opening sealed packages as you speak?
I am. Do I need to handle anything else?
Our State's Exhibit 151 Charlie, 152 Charlie, 153 Charlie, 154 Charlie, and 155 Charlie. Items that have been collected from the scene that you responded to on September 11, 2013.
Was that a question? That are they the items?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Your Honor, the state tender State's Exhibit 151 Charlie, 152 Charlie, 153 Charlie, 154 Charlie, and 155 Charlie is that.
Any objection? All right. States 151 Charlie, 152 Charlie, 153 Charlie, 154 Charlie, and 155 Charlie are admitted to be published as you see fit.
Judge, given the court's earlier directive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna, as I mentioned earlier, it's about 4 o'clock, and we still have miles to go before we sleep, but this is where we're gonna stop for today, okay? All right, so, all right, so ladies and gentlemen, we are going to, like I said, recess, and you're going to appear back for Monday morning, February the 26th. I'd like you all to be here for 10:30, okay? And we should start somewhere around 11 o'clock or thereabouts, okay? All right. Retired detective, Velasquez, you may come back, same thing, 10:30 on Monday. Sir, if you could please be back. Don't discuss your testimony, anybody except the attorneys in this case, okay?
Sir.
All right, thank you, sir.
I wanted to do the judge got his emotional support animal with him today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, any ministerial inquiry of me? Okay, all right. Let's cover our ad nauseam admonitions. Remember, over the weekend, put your note pads in the basket and don't take them with you.
Baby
And
boo, big
of
in the
course,
basket.
please don't discuss this case amongst yourselves in small groups or in large groups as you come to and from, I should say, your headquarters at your deliberation room. Of course, don't discuss this with anybody that's in your household. And, don't phone a friend. Don't talk to anybody else about what's going on in the four walls of this courtroom. And of course, if somebody should approach you or try and contact you, you need to let Sergeant Ingram, myself, know immediately. Any other inquiry of me at this point? Okay. Last thing, again, thank you for your patience that you've given us and are continuing to give us on a daily basis.
I hope that jury didn't
And
thought they was gonna be done soon with this case, because it might be a
like I said, ladies and gentlemen,
long
that means a
ass
whole
fight.
lot to all of us who are associated with this case, your patience, and we really appreciate that. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, unless you have anything else of me, I'm going to go ahead and bid you all a very good weekend. Juror 204, if you'd remain just a second. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you on Monday at 10:30, okay? All right, all rise.
They gonna drag this motherfucking case out till the wheels fall off. I'm trying to tell you. That's old girl that was saying the Young Thug song. She knew them lyrics. She was feeling that shit. Let me stop, man. Well, yeah, that's all, folks. Until Monday, like they said. Now, personally, me personally, what I think, I don't know. I feel like they got evidence presented. If the evidence stick, hey, that's a face. Face, then it's a case. Now, if you ain't got no face, no case. You feel me? But yeah, that's what I'm going with. As far as Young Thug Buddy that faked himself in the courtroom when you shot all them people, nigga, and then you gonna fake and play dumb in the courtroom, you the goofy. You go down. Let me remove this real quick. You go down as the goofy of the fucking year, bro. I have to say it. Cause you put on the act in that courtroom like none other. You had people thinking that you really out here hurting. Whole time. You was playing. Oh. Fanny, Fanny, banana, Fanny, beep, bop, Fanny, Fanny. It look like you in some trouble. Trump exposed your ass, and now you can't get out of it. They coming for you, Fanny, and your ducks better be in a row. Also, everybody in Atlanta better have their shit in a row too, because y'all being investigated from what I heard right now, and it's not looking pretty. Donald Trump seamlessly suggests that Fannie Willis was sleeping with Big Nut before working the YSL case. Who is Big Nut? Big Nut is who they killed. Supposedly Young Thug now. They was beefing with each other. So you take down your your lovers. Your lover. Lover. I'm gonna do it Austin Power, but lover, like fucking Baja. Lover. Ops. Was that a revenge, Fanny? You better get your ducks in a row because you're gonna have to explain.
A young racist
You're gonna. Oh.
in Atlanta. Say racist.
I ain't say it.
And they say, I guess they say.
Now, Fanny, I know you ain't racist, but is you racist to your own people? Because since you got in office, they say you've been on a manhunt to take everybody down. And when I mean everybody, the good, the dirty, the wrong, the right, everybody.
That she was after a certain gang and she ended up having an affair with the head of the gang or a
Oh,
gang
no,
member.
you did not.
And this is a person that wants to indict me. She's got a lot of problems, but she.
You was sleeping with the Fanny, Popani, banana, Popani. Get it together, Fanny. Or you're gonna be like this. This is gonna be you in the courtroom pretty soon. Hit him one time. Hit on with it. You can't pull this off in the courtroom, Fanny. He got caught too. He got out of this situation and ended up catching a body in another situation. So he was dumb and dumber dumb. Don't do it. Let me see you bounce right to left and let you jolene. Let me stop, man. I cannot. Gunna living his best life. Ever since he got out of YSL, he been doing him. I ain't mad at you, Gunna. Because Gunna, this could have been you in the
He may be
situation.
doing just for the purposes of just drawing attention to himself, but
This could have been you,
of
Gunna.
course, sir, as you are well aware, I'm duty bound to consider whatever it is you want to tell me. But your client's nodded in affirmance. He just has some extra movements that the court.
An Academy Award goes to.
The entirety of this particular proceeding. So you haven't said anything up to this point in time, so I'm going to assume
I
that
fucking can't, man.
that's something that you and he are working through.
And then on Tuesday, what time are we on Tuesday?
Y'all might say I'm going there. I'm not going. No, he was faking people. He was not being serious. He tried to fake that shit out of one case and got right into another one.
9 o'clock. Yeah, let's see. Hold on, wait 1 second. Tuesday the 6th.
Chin up, bro.
He may be.
Cause your ass ain't getting out no time soon. Not for playing like that. Ooh, Charlie. You cannot make this shit up. Well, that's all I got for y'all. Y'all drop in the comments what y'all think about this Young Thug YSL case situation. They is presented in the court with evidence. We did hear one detective. From what I heard, I think it was an officer and a detective that spoke today. But yeah, that detective brought evidence. I'm guessing he's the head honcho of the whole case because he seemed like he knew what he was talking about. But they will return on Monday, and we will be tuning in. So thank you for stopping by. Welcome to my show, your humble host, Mr. Mass. Let me get my applause. Can I get a little applause in here? You feel me? You feel me? Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Mr. Mass TV. Until the next one. Peace out, people.